Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. What I'm going to say now is more important though. Prices will always go down. Because prices will always go down compared to Bitcoin, your $43 million will always be worth more than it was when you got it. In this case, if you ask, how much of the ledger do I own? The answer is $900 trillion right now. Make sure you own at least that much. Jeff Booth, a well-known speaker who loves Bitcoin, has been on the cutting edge of technology change for 20 years. He talks about figuring out how Bitcoin and AI might work together from a broken system in this interview with Natalie Brunell. He also questions the idea that they are competing for energy and investors in companies. Jeff thinks that AI and Bitcoin will change the way value is created in a big way. AI will speed up price drops until they reach the minimum cost of making things in a free market. AI is helpful when it helps people, not when it's just a technology. Over time, AI will get better and cheaper than the cost of making it now. This means that a business needs to add value in order to stay in business. Bitcoin's decentralized and safe features will be very important to this merger. As AI combines with robots and gets a lot better, businesses that use it will do very well. The wealth of AI should be shared, and Bitcoin's freedom will make this possible. Bitcoin and AI will make a new economic system that gives plenty, which will raise prices and make more value. See clips of Jeff Booth's talk with Bitcoin Bubble to learn more. Please give this video a like, follow, and turn on post alerts to get more videos like this. Have fun with the movie. This is the real reason for the same thing, so just think of AI as something we made to help us. It's a tool. It's a tool of the free market that gets better over time. In terms of Bitcoin, this means that all prices are falling faster than the marginal cost of production. Things will cost more than they did with the other method. Prices have to go up, and as they go up, there is no free market when this much money is being changed. That means that the money is so-so, and I'm going to back up because this is so important. Deflation is the normal state of a free market. Just say that over and over again. Once you know that everything else is blocking it. Listen to lawmakers talk about growth today if you think prices are going up and if you think this and that is going to be growth. They're talking about how their economic growth is making deflation happen faster. What they're really saying is that we're going to change money faster to take more of it from you. There is no talk of growth at all. Just remember that decline is the normal state of a free market. Then it's not a government system that stops it. It's not a method for making money. It's a method for control. And it's so important. Why is that important in your eyes? Because AI is getting faster and faster, and it will eventually get even faster. And it joins with robots that can do anything you can do faster and better. The company that hires them will bring in robots which you say you won't use because they'll save you money on labor, but you will use them anyway. They will lose money if they don't use that because you will choose something else. So if the choices you make are causing prices to go down, shouldn't you gain from an economy that reprices things and gives everyone on Earth more of what they need? That's what Bitcoin does. As of today, the world's balance sheet is worth about $930 trillion. And there are 21 million Bitcoins in circulation. This means that, as long as Bitcoin stays decentralized and safe, each Bitcoin is worth about $43 million. But those $900 trillion, since all you did was divide 900 trillion by 21 million. For that to be true, all it has to do is stay autonomous and safe for a certain amount of time. But the balance sheet of a $930 trillion company today has $400 trillion in debt against it. And that bill is already past due. It would not have a balance sheet of $900 trillion if it had been marked to market. There would be a cascading crash of all real estate prices, banks would fail, and everything would fall apart. The only reason it's 900 trillion is because that's how you measure the world, and you're part of that record. It's only $900 trillion because you think the debt can be paid off and you'll vote for someone who manipulates money less instead of letting it fall apart. What does that mean? In other words, the balance sheet won't be $900 trillion in 4 or 5 years. 2 quadrillion. After that, if the value of Bitcoin compared to that balance sheet and the cost of living from that point on was 90 million Bitcoin, it would still be able to buy the same things. Okay, what I'm going to say now is more important though. Prices will always go down. Based on Bitcoin, your $43 million purchasing power and final value today will always buy more and more because prices will always go down compared to it. As a general rule, if you ask yourself, how much of the ledger do I own? The answer is $900 trillion right now. Make sure you have at least that much in Bitcoin. Then, as you learn more about what's going on, start to shift some of your attention from the system that's distracting you to the system that's bringing people together and building to truth, hope, and abundance. You'll be happy as a result because that's where society is going. Jeff Booth thinks that Bitcoin and AI will change the way value is created by making prices drop faster, which will force companies to make more value in order to stay in business. The decentralized nature of Bitcoin will help share the $400 trillion in debt that AI made in wealth. The bank sheet for the whole world is worth $900 trillion, but if this debt were marked to market, it would be unstable and lead to the failure of real estate banks and investments that were thought to be safe. Bitcoin is safe, doesn't have a central authority, and there are only 21 million of them. Around $43 million are spent on each Bitcoin, according to the Global Financial Sheet. But because Bitcoin has energy limits, this value will go up as the balance sheet grows and prices go down. Bitcoin also makes energy markets more open. Bitcoin sets a floor price for energy, which lets makers grow and make a lot of energy as the amount of energy produced goes up by sending energy around the world. This decentralized energy system will link to Bitcoin AI, which is a system that uses a lot of energy and resources. Each country will want to decentralize AI and make a new economic model based on AI and energy. Let's go back to the interview. And this is really how to think about Bitcoin from an energy point of view. As you can see, I know that Bitcoin is surrounded by energy and that being there makes more energy available. Why is that? Because it gives people a free market way to get energy. So this is what you do. Every day you run a bakery and throw away the extra bread at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I come in and say, under one day, I'm going to buy everything you can make, but I want a discount. The very next day, you make twice as much and hope I show up. After that, I buy it. After that, I come and buy everything. The next day, you buy 10 times as much bread and make 10 times as much. Everything I buy. There was 100 times more bread the next day. Everything I buy. Which is why, as a last-minute buyer of goods, I set a floor price on your bread. I'll always buy more too, so it lets you increase your ability so you can make a lot of bread. In the energy world, Bitcoin does the same thing. That means it's making a lot of energy. There is a lot of energy available, but the price has to keep going down because a free market wants better and better goods at lower and lower prices when it comes to making money. Energy is spread out around the world because it doesn't have a fixed cost that no one wants to buy, right? There is now someone who will always buy anything extra that you make when you're building an energy plant. That's why you would, of course, use Bitcoin to make energy, and that is now sending energy all over the world and making a lot of it. On the other hand, we know that the world has a crazy lack of energy. However, there is a lot of energy on this world. The only reason for it is to save money on energy. Since energy costs money, we now have an economic model for getting more energy. This makes Bitcoin basically limited by energy and spreads it out all over the world. Then there's I, which is a high resource, high intensity energy use that comes in after it. Now you talk about energy from a global point of view, right? Or I should say energy in AI is what every country will want from their AI. You're not going to want China or Chinese people to want their records in the US. After former US President and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump was hurt in an attempted assassination, the price of a Bitcoin jumped to over $60,000 per unit. Trump's chances of winning back the